What's the biggest lesson over the last 7 days?
For me, two really. One, to stick to the basics. So whatever your fundamental breakdown is and your technical breakdowns are to how to get into the market, don't deviate from them. And number two, for my traders, investors, swing traders, if you don't know macro policy, and I got to give Rashad credit for this because his story, he'll be like Napoleon on December 3rd. I'm like, how do you know this? What the hell? It's fire. But if you don't know macro policy, you don't know what returns you can expect. Like, thank God I've been diligent enough to study these markets, and these markets remind me of like 2016 to remind me a little bit of Brexit. But I see a lot of traders who be like, well, it's going to go to this fib level. I'm like, if we have tariffs that last for a year and a half, and even there's some rumblings about Putin and Trump not getting along now and Trump feeling played, we can drop through decade levels and there's no technical indicator that will allow you to know that. So knowing the macroeconomic environment, especially with a emotional leader, I'll say it calm and measured. If you don't know what the macro environment is going to look like, it doesn't matter what the technicals are. And in your trades, I get it, but in a long-term investment scenario, when people keep asking every week when is the bottom is going to happen when there's policy in place that gives the world safety. We're like in a financial world war right now. No one is really making that big of a deal about it. But for you two, what's the biggest lesson you've gained over the last week, especially being out there in LA?
In terms of trading, I think the most important thing is, like you said, sticking to your plan.
Yep.
And I get this question all the time, like, Troy, especially when it comes to options, like, why are you making your leap so far out? Why aren't you doing ones closer? And I always tell them, like, volatility is something that we have to factor in, and we don't know when it's
Yeah.
going to happen, but we know it will happen. And so to see pullbacks like we're seeing now is the reason, right? I want time to be one of those factors that actually can be beneficial for me, right? It'd be nothing
Yep.
like having an expiration date on April 6th and it's the Friday before a call's about to expire, and here comes the earnings report, and here comes another tariff, and now I don't have time to get out of that play, and it's down 40 to 50%. And so being disciplined about that, not overtrading will probably be the second thing. Like, yeah, the market is uncertain. I'm not making a trade until I feel like there's some
Yeah.
certainty, or we start seeing volume, or we start seeing RSIs move in a direction that makes sense for me. And so that's why I always tell people, like, have a plan, right? Maybe it's not ours,
Sure.
but you created one or formulated one that works for you. But really be disciplined about sticking to it and not overtrading. They used to question, we like, yo, how many trades we make in a year? We're like, maybe 12 to 20. And they're like, that's it? That sounds like a month for me. I'm like, nah, there's no need to overtrade.
Yeah.
Well, in these type of seasons, you see why you don't want to, especially when it comes to futures and options. So those would be my two.
Yeah. Rashad, what about you?
Well, this goes into a next topic if we're ready to switch gears, but
I'm
you
done.
got to listen to smart people. That's important.